There we go. I got to shut off Moontooth. There we go. We're good to go. All right, so we're good to go here. Book map up and running. They've got a large level upstairs at 37.95, and we've got 27 seconds till the market is open. So y'all stay safe. Remember to play at the levels. I'm going to bring up, let's see, we're at 37.76. I'm going to bring up 37.50 puts on SPX to start the day off. And to see where we go. All right, so VIX popped up here, 6%. That's a pretty big jump there, almost under 30. And we'll see where we go. Y'all be safe. There we go. There's the market bell, big green candle to start the day off, and then flip to red. Amazon, Apple, XLF, Microsoft, all very red. The entire watch list, in fact, is very, very red. So we'll see how that goes. We're opening up just at S1, which is fine. A little bit lower than, right in the middle of S1 or R1, but that's fine. So green candle to start off right there. And down she goes on, so I'm looking at currently 37.50 puts, and things are popping all over the place already. Tried to scalp one right off the bat there, but premiums are jumping all over the place. So no positions right now except for the swing plays. Swing plays are doing very well, up 45% at the moment, and climbing, which is beautiful. So there's a big downfill right there. And we've got, Amazon. XLF is really heavy. Financial sector is getting killed. Just jumped into 37.50 puts right now for a scalp. And VIX is 29.45. A lot of red coming in around the market here as we're reeling from the recession. Recession is really becoming more of a global light right now and coming on down. Zero DTEs. Right now I'm doing zeros at the moment. So, all right, big red candle still in the position here. 37.50s that I had open at the bell. And we're coming down already. There's S2. We blew through S2. That's a larger level in early action out of the gate. Already up 20%. Large red candles across the board on NASDAQ, on ES. VIX is 29.52 and climbing. Yeah, so the swing puts are up beautifully. 50% already on the swing puts. So that is what I'd like to see. I'm up 27% right now on the 37.50s, and we are absolutely drilling already. Man, kicking off the week aggressively with some green, kicking down the door of the profits. All right, 37.61 on ES on the book map, and we're flying. 37.30, larger level to the downside, and down we go. 51% on the swing puts, 34% on the 37.50s I just took. Nice large downfill candle. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 52%, 33%, and man, going crazy. That was a very important level. So S2 just blew through. Very large candles across the board. All liquidity very much lower. And beautiful. I'm starting to scale out here. I'm going to scale out a few more contracts here. 1630 of the premiums on the 3750 0 DT filled on those. And up 40%. And now I'm going to leave some runners for this thing to chew and eat. Yeah, buddy. A little come and get you. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Man, great way to start the week off. All right, so red candles across the board. That's pretty much the name of the game. XLF, financial markets are tanking. The bonds, I still have the runners. The bonds are absolutely screaming, so that's a rotation from financials into the bonds. What's XLE doing? XLE, huge red side even on XLE. So this is a correlated sell-off. Everything is red. Everything is selling off, which is a great case for the bears if you were looking for the puts. Yeah, I said I would make sure I was clear about saying that I was entering those puts. So the July 5th, 37.50 puts. Yeah, Amazon's smoking too. A lot of green here. I've only got runners left in this position, so I've exited most of this position. I'm just leaving on some runners, and I'll post those exits as well. 37.64. Swing puts are up 47%. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. While I leave those runners on, I am going to look down at 37.30 puts. So these I haven't taken yet. I'm just bringing it up in order form for 37.30 SPX puts, leaving the runners on for the other one. Man, I feel like the market's already been open for 3 hours. Beautiful. Yeah, the whole market, the retail market is going to get smoked. Not looking good. Not looking good for the world or the recession, which obviously is a very dire situation. But there's nothing we could do about it except try to make money from the stock market from it. So that's our goal, is to capitalize on the downside and the upside. So I took a very large short yesterday at 38.24. If you all see, I saw the posted the futures play there, and I closed it at 37.75, somewhere in there. I did the screenshot. So that was a very nice win. And we'll talk about that. XLF is super getting smoked at the moment. Look at that. Huge downside on XLF, and we're about to drop. Major downside on XLF. They're absolutely just dropping big time. Big time. This is a correlated market sell-off here, so I'm gonna be very patient and look for some good entries here, because the way they acted in pre-market, if this thing can grab some legs and really start dropping, we could be a trend down day, a nice little trend down day for us to jump on, take some puts, and make some money to really start the week off. But watching XLF has some major red here. Nasdaq's got a little bit of green right there. Yes, I still say we're under VIX. We're in a perpetually under VIX environment right now until we need a big sell-off day to hike that VIX up. We need that VIX up in the mid 35s. We got to put, those are rookie numbers. We got to get them numbers up. So we're really looking for VIX to pop to 35, 38, 39, even 40. But we need a big trend down sell day to really get that action cooking. All right, the 3750 runners are up 42%. I'm trying to see if Nasdaq can drop with XLF and really get us down. Sorry about that. I was crunching a little ice. 3760 here on ES, and things are still dropping. Can we get a little bottom fall out here? There we go. There we go. There we go. I don't want to come off ES just a moment. When things kind of settle a little bit, I'll start looking around for different levels around all the tech sectors. But right now, I really want to focus on ES, as we could have it. We're in a bit of a crazy situation at the moment. We've got a little bit of red on NASDAQ kind of creeping in, and some green on ES. All right, 37. Nice little downfill candle. Yeah, buddy, let's go. 52% on the runners and climbing. 58% on the swings. 37.56, and we're dropping. Yeah, buddy. All right. XLF. All right, XLF had a little green. They flipped at the red. So I'm trying to tell y'all, this is why we post. I posted that this morning on Twitter. Play the trend. I knew this was coming. And let's see. Play the direction of the trend. Stop looking for bounces. Play puts, the direction of the trend, until we get that V recovery. Now, we all know V recoveries in this market are pretty dang common. So we very well may get a V recovery, let's say, later this afternoon. I don't expect it, not today, but it's possible. And until we see that, play the trend, play the puts, get down. With the current economic conditions, I wouldn't expect a V recovery, but knowing this market, you never know. You never know. 54% on the 3750s. XLF is still drilling through the floor, and we still falling. All right. 3756. The 3750 puts that I entered, I've scaled out. I've got runners. I haven't touched the swing puts. The swing puts are full-fledged. In fact, if anything, I'm adding to that position. I'm not going to touch the swing positions today. Just FYI. Yeah, I do see that above us, so I want to be aware of that 37.95 level. So, yeah. Be patient with your positions. You know, I know I'm always quick to say take profits, but be patient with your positions. and just be ready because we're about to have that range in the morning time where we get a reverse movement and then the reverse back down. But if this is a trend down day, with the market conditions that we're seeing at the moment, like if you want to get those big 600 and 700% winners in a day, you're going to have to learn to manage position and don't get faked out by one single green candle. Wait for the conviction of the buyers to get you out of your puts. Yeah, I've been up. I didn't go to bed till 11:30 last night, and I was up at 4 a.m. So I was doing a lot of trading. The fireworks. We had a nice fireworks show last night, and I was up cleaning up the street and the driveway. So I'm running on my greens, my powdered greens, and some protein at the moment. 55% on the runners, 58% on the swings. So we're good. When am I adding to the swing position? We'll see at the end of the day. Remember, I'm not looking to add too quickly. I'm going to wait till the end of the day here, unless things get super sell-off, and then we'll figure it out. But Microsoft is dropping, Apple's dropping, Amazon once again is the outlier of the market. So apparently a lot of buyers still love Amazon. A little bit of V buy up there on Amazon, and then XLF has got a little green candle as well. ES is 37.55. They've got a level down at 37.40, 37.30, and then 11.369. So, yeah, when I popped in last night, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time to do some teaching last night because we were, the festivities. But I saw a lot of people saying that, they were looking at a bullish bounce after Friday. They were saying the chart setup on Friday was bullish when it wasn't. And you have to remember, if you're going to follow volume price analysis, that there are two parts to volume price analysis. You got volume and you got price. Yes, we did have a double bounce. We did have a bottom wick on the daily chart, but it was on a very weak price action and very weak volume. So to me, that is a prime setup for a reversal, especially after a long weekend going into a new this is going to be the first full month of July. So just remember, there are two parts to price analysis. There's volume and there's price analysis. If I've got a certain price action that's not supported by the volume, then that play is not confirmed. So, and I'm going to take that price action with a grain of salt. Same thing if we're looking on the 3-minute chart and we have a huge green buy hammer candle. The first place I'm looking for is the volume. And if I have a big green hammer candle that's not supported by volume, then I'm going to look for the sellers to reverse that thing back down. Same thing on the daily chart. It's the same exact price action analysis except on a longer time frame. Here, I already know where this is heading, so I'm going to post in the swing positions. I'm not closing any of this position today. If anything, I'll add to it. There we go. All right, nice little green here on ES. We'll see. They want to keep us. I'm going to hang on to the runners right here. I'm still up 34%. I've closed most of that position out. And yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. 100% on Amazon puts. Nicely done. All right, let's go. I'll jump over to Amazon here. Amazon's got 108 and then 106. Do they still have that big 100 level? Yes, they do. In fact, it's quite substantial. So we've been tracking that Amazon for about a week now. That huge level down at 100. And we'll see where they really want to take us. All right. Do I think the whole week will be bearish? I wouldn't say the whole week. I mean, the market doesn't go in a straight line. And we are, the bottom of the 3,700 block has a lot of support. So there'll be a couple of roadblocks for the sellers to get through depending on how crazy they want to get with volume or how crazy they want to get today. If we blow through 3,700 a day, it could be a couple of good days for the bears. But we will see how things play out. 37.55, can't get a bounce just yet. Apple's got a slight green. Amazon's got a slight red forming. XLF, Amazon about to put in a new low. VIX is still holding 29.63. So, yeah. See where things happen. Amazon's still green. They're the outlier of the group. We'll see if that thing comes down. We've got, let's go back here on ES. That 37.95 is quite large for show. So we're going to keep an eye on that one today because, you know, Bookmap, every time I disregard something on Bookmap, they usually prove me wrong. But we're going to see, hey, new low. Nope, they tied the new low there. I posted the weekly levels in the tier 2 room. You should be seeing the first level approaching, so be aware if we come down there. Those things they're quite accurate. So if you see us starting to approach that level, just be aware that could provide something. Nice little green bounce finally. I'm going to close these runners if I can get a fill. All right, runners are closed. Runners are closed for the 0DT position. Just because I'm seeing a lot of green across the board here, we could have that morning bounce there, and I'm going to look for a different position at 37.30, which is a little below. And I'll post those trades a little later. Nice little green candle. Currently no positions except the swing. No positions except the swing. And we're coming up to the 8 EMA now. I'm going to look at 30, let's see, July 5th, 37. Depending on how high we go here, I'm going to creep up here. So I'll go to 37.40s now, since we're going a little bit higher. Puts. Amazon is really green. Apple's really green. Microsoft is really green. Here we go. I'd be very surprised to see anything more than a couple of green, like short covering bounce candles. If we had a full-on V recovery, I'd be quite surprised at it, even more so than usual. Just with the current macro environment, with the global environment the way it is, I would expect some profit taking, a little bit of green bull, a little green buy up, and that pretty much would be the extent of it. But we'll see. Currently no position except the swing. Amazon's still doing the weird thing where it doesn't play what everyone else is doing. So very green here. Might be a good setup for some downside once that does eventually fail. XLF is top wicking. Apple's got some top wick there. Microsoft is coming up. Take a look around the other X's as well. Nice, Damien. Well done. XLK has got a little green with the top wick. XLV is down. KF is down. Y is down. C is down. Everything looking good. Man, look at Amazon. Freaking going nuts. I may seriously consider some puts on Amazon up here because it's quite strong and everything else is pretty weak. Oh, nice, Mr. Hana. Well done. So ES 37.65 coming back up a little bit to their open. They're about 10, 15 points below their open. Normally we get a strong sell-off at the open. We tend to have a V recovery. Well, depends why. It depends why. You're not wrong, but it depends why. You know, I want to look at the macro environment as well. And with the current nature of the global markets, with the current data that we've got, I wouldn't expect a V recovery. Although, yeah, we do frequently have V recoveries. But if I saw one today, I would look for an oversold bounce, and we're not there yet. An oversold bounce, you know, would be considerable downside, and then all right, that's enough selling for the day. We kind of bounce and have some sort of V recovery, maybe not a complete V, but a strong response. But we're not there yet. And what's kind of indicated by the pre-market, we had a huge sell-off in pre-market. We never even got a bounce. It wasn't a weak sell where we had some sort of flat trade come back. It just kept on selling. 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, 3 o'clock Eastern, when the Euro markets opened, we sold off and we never stopped selling off. So Nasdaq got up to about 11,500 and then rejected, and now they're coming back down. Little top wick at the 8. Little delayed Lira special there. Nice little top wick there. Taking a look around the book map, we now haven't said that. That 37.95 level we need to be very aware of. That's a very, very large level on ES. They could bring us right back up there. So, and I want to be aware of that. Even if we do continue on down and get a nice sell-off today, be aware of that level. Whenever they've got that looming level, either up or down, in this case up, it's something we want to be very, very aware of. And it's always a target when we have that kind of liquidity on there. So if anyone catches that they remove that or add it, shout it out so we don't miss it. But we want to be aware of that level at 3,800. Nasdaq has got a large level to the downside, 11,375. XLF is going a little lower. What's Apple doing? Big old Apple. Booyakasha. Microsoft is hanging out. They've got a level above and a bigger one below. Tesla, what are they doing? So Tesla's got a bunch of crap to the downside and a huge level at 600, all the way down 50 points below. What's their chart look like? Tesla's looking terrible. Terrible. Yeah, XLF looks super heavy. The bond market right now popped up, so huge rotation out of the bonds into, or out of the financials into the bonds. We'll see how they respond. Yeah, buddy. Finally got a little red on Amazon. See how that plays out. XLF new low of the day. VIX is 29.36, so didn't quite break into 30 yet. We'll see if that goes out there. But XLF, new low right there on XLF. They're down to 31.08, and they're coming back to, they took out all of yesterday's levels. I'm sorry, Friday's. Coming on down. Data at 10 a.m. What data we got? Let's see. Yeah, let me check my calendar. All right. Let's see. Foreign exchange rates. Factory order. Yeah. And then tomorrow we've got the FOMC minutes. So we got the June FOMC minutes, which won't be much. They might have a little volatility, but not all that much. It won't be crazy. So tomorrow is FOMC minutes. Yeah. All right. So XLF really heavy. ES is still at the bottom, 37.54. No positions right now except for the swing. And I'm going to look around to see what I can do. Amazon is still very green, and I'm going to keep an eye on them. The reason why I keep calling them out is because I am going to be looking for a put entry on them if they keep this stuff up. Everything else is super heavy, and they're just kind of smiling and climbing, which is really weird. It's very rare to see such a heavy day in one of the big stocks that's wrapped up in this climbing like this. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to lobster eye that thing. Right now, SPX looking at 37.30s as we're coming on back down. Looking at them. I may take a swing put on Amazon. I'm not sure if they keep doing this stuff. I don't know. It depends on what they do today. They are very, very strong relative to the market. Yeah, I did all the Amazon Prime days over the past couple of years, especially with the Corona stuff coming. But they're doing two Prime days this year because they know that it's not going to be as substantial as in years past because of the recessionary factors that we're in right now. But still holding the bottom of the day's range, still holding the low of the day. And we'll see. Amazon Prime Day, that's their event that they do that it's a way to have like Black Friday throughout the year. So, all right. So looking around here, XLF, small green. All in all, not a crazy move at the open. Nice. I mean, there's definitely downward action here. A little 25 point, 30 point move, which is nice. Nothing crazy. Now we're just kind of chopping around 37.54 and just hanging out. Yeah, I did. I did. So where was that? That was copy link right there. Am I expecting the big move to happen at or before the earnings season kickoff? I don't know when it's going to happen. I think it's going to be one of those things like today, this morning, we woke up and it was pretty red. I think it'll be like that on a larger scale. I think we'll wake up to 2 or 3% down, and then we'll have an additional 3 to 4% sell off during the day. It'll kind of have that limit down sell. All right, ES, new low of the day. Amazon finally giving a little back. See where we can go. Still got the 37.30 puts up and ready. I've had a very green morning so far, so I'm not looking to be crazy here. I'm looking to just kind of be smart, play at levels, and just augment my income for the day. Have you set up your swing put for the CPI? I am currently in a swing put, dated for later this July, and we entered that trade on Friday. So right now it is up nicely. It's up 59% right now. So the only bummer about that trade is that I took it Friday, which was great, but I didn't have time to build into it. Like I was looking to build into a larger position, which I was actually welcoming a run up to 39.54,000. But obviously we can't even get there, so it's too weak. Market's too weak. Back in the green for the year. Nice stud puffin. Closed 2 September 4,000 puts, $300 each. Nicely done. Right now, ES is looking. Let's take a look. They've got a level at 37.25, and they've got a level at 37.95, and that's it. That's it. A lot of crap in between here, small Z's, onesies, and twosies, but the major stuff is higher and lower for now. And we're just grinding up against 37.45 right now. Just hanging out. No additional play so far. So far, still a little choppy. And remember, we talked about this last week as well, is that the market conditions has changed as such that the days of big trend days might be over with, because the volume the past month has been very light. Even on trend days, it's been incredibly light to the point we just can't get that pick a direction and go. Very rare. And usually, for the past 6 months, we've been getting them all the time. It's hard to get those. I'm looking at July. What do they got? Let's take a look. I'm not even on their option chain at the moment. July 8th. Yeah, I'll be doing July 8th if I take an Amazon play. Most likely won't be swinging that play, just because the nature of their action, price action. I think it's a higher risk play to swing that play if I do enter one. Yep, I've already got S6 calculated if we need it. If we need it. Right now we're pegged between S2 and S4. Amazon, another large green candle. A little bounce across the board here. Everything else looks like I have a little green. And Amazon does not care. 256.74 on Microsoft. Apple's coming back up. New high of the day for Amazon. 109.07. After a nice large red, they reversed it and went green. And I think we might have a relief bounce here. We'll see. Is it low volume typical summer season volume, or is it because prices are heading down? A little bit of both. I mean, typically June, July, we have lower volume action, choppy action. We certainly had it last year. But now, in addition to that, the macro environment, the trading environment is changing a little bit. The market that a lot of people were born into in 20 and 21 has shifted. That super high volume, super high activity in the options chain has diminished a little bit. It's come off a little bit. So the typical price action is starting to change a little, and we're going to have to adapt to that. We've been very spoiled by seemingly every other day we have a 100-point move, and we'll still get those days. But the nature of those days will change a little bit, and the frequency of those days will diminish a little bit. And like it's hard now with a lighter volume to get a super pick a direction go trend because of the lighter volume. But we'll see. How does lower volume adjust VPA for you? All relative. You have to. It's a great question. You have to look at it relatively, relative to the environment, that week, that day, the day prior, and there. So that was a nice little red reversal candle, wicked. I might put on a temporary call for a bounce here. It's looking green, a lot of bottom wicks here across the board, although lighter volume, but I think still we'll get that. We'll see. Nice W, dog. So we are pegged to the bottom of this, the bottom of the day right now. We have a strong red. It was reverse green. We had a strong green. It was reverse red, and now we're stuck at like 37.50. Amazon's trying to figure out what it wants to do. XLF is still hanging out down. I'm going to take a look at the other stocks too. Apple, zoom in on them a little bit. They're very green response. So Apple only had like one really red candle, and they bounced and went. Microsoft the same. So tech is definitely getting a decent response. But a lot of top wicks coming in across the board. Even on Amazon, a lot of top wicks here. So we'll see what they want to do. Tesla's down. They've got a lot of liquidity at 600. Healthcare is getting smoked straight down. Facebook is doing its thing right now. So ES is trying to figure out what it wants to do on this candle. Red, green, red, green. Yep, 0 DTEs. There's no playing around with those. You set your stops. You take profits when you need to, because literally one candle and will smoke your 0 DT positions. Can you at least go and reach out? Just start it or send an email or whatever. 60% still amazing. Trust me. You remember a couple of weeks ago, I mean, I think a month and a half ago, I was up 220% on puts, and 2 candles later, I was 30%. So it's make or break with 0 DT positions. TradingView watch list is in the market analysis channel. All right, I'm going to go data hunting right now. All right, so factory order came out 1.6 versus 0.5 expected. So manufacturing was a touch higher than expected. Huge red on ES, new low of the day right there. Interesting action there. NASDAQ is falling over just a touch here as well. Still a bearish setup here. Still a bearish setup. What you know about that? You're welcome, Witch. Welcome, welcome. 518 people watching. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button so we can grow the channel, get a little more visibility, teach people how to do this the right way, change your lives, etc., etc. Still looking at the 3730 puts. Me neither. Me neither. Shrooned. Rolled my 0 DD profits in a swing at the 8. Nice. Well, there are several different ways to translate that. One, you have to look at the relative data from last year. Two, the whole thesis that, hey, that's decent news, so that's just going to bolster it's going to let the Fed be more aggressive with rate hikes. Honestly, it's data points like that. There's multiple different arguments. So you just got to play what comes. In terms of data, it's either got to be overwhelmingly skewed to one side or the other, or it's got to be a big data point, and the factory orders just aren't a big data point. It's a data point, yeah, but it's not like CPI. It's not like FOMC. If CPI comes out and posts 9%, we'll have a 4-inch red candle, and it'll keep on producing those until the close of the business. But factory candle, it's like, So, it's one of those things. What's good news? What's bad news? Bulls, bulls is bad, bad is bulls, all that stuff all in between. But just play what comes. So nice large red followed up with a little green. Amazon still won't fall. Still waiting for a good indication I could take a put on them, but we'll see. I may not even get that opportunity today. Maybe they keep on going up and they go green and pulls the market on with it. We got 37.32 or 37.72, 37.95 on Bookmap. I need to post this for you all as well. Right there. I got a call with Spot Gamma tomorrow about implementing more of the hero indicator, as well as using theirs a little bit more. I used their analysis a lot in the morning, just going to give me a good macro view in the option chain, because he's a great statistician with the options chain. He's brilliant. So I love using his data to get a better macro view of the options chain. Hopefully, it can bring a little more value into you all's analysis. Nice, Scrub Lord. 52% on the swing positions. 52% currently, fluctuating between 60 and 50 and 45 with the candles. So yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. We are bouncing right off of S4 on SPY. We've fallen on down and almost down to the penny again, bouncing off of S4. NASDAQ is still barcoding sideways. VIX is 29.35, and we just hanging out. Grabbed a FedEx put. That green looks wild. Weird. Sorry. No additional plays right now. Yeah, oil's getting smoked. Oil's getting smoked. Yeah, buddy. Another topic on ES here. Just looking around the market for any kind of direction of where we're going to go. Are we going to bounce? Are we going to sell off? We have a significant level approaching us on ES, a weekly level we need to be aware of. See if we get a little bounce there or break, but we're in chop mode right now. If you think we reverse and start to head back up to the upper 3700s, would you start to sell shorter term puts against longer term for PCS type scalp? I would sell zeros against it, but I wouldn't sell long dated PCS puts against it. It's not a bad idea. I got to be very careful selling puts on a day like today because we are very much trend down for the moment. And once we kind of break through this action, if they continue to sell off, PCS will get smoked. But right now we're still in chop mode. Yeah, definitely it's trend down. Definitely trend down. got to see where this thing is going to break, if we're going to bounce or break upwards. Now, remember, look at multi-time frame trends. Don't get sucked in just to the 3-minute trend. Look at larger trends from the daily to the weekly and see what you can pick out. Amazon's about to put in a high of the day, and they're about to break green. Amazon's 30 cents away from going green, where everything else is heavily red. Do you think we'll see a retest of 3,900 soon? No. No, I mean, we've already done that a couple of times. Not only did we have a bull rally, we had a little rejection, and then another bull rally back up to the 3,900, 3,950 area, and then today. So, I mean, I guess we could. It's just with the macro environment and the volume, I don't know. So, we are hanging out here, still chopping. What's the lowest I think I'll see SPX this year? I would say under 3,300 this year. That's what I'm going to look at. Below that, I have no idea. If we get a full-on capitulation where everything just blows, I guess it's possible. But we'll see. All right, there's a nice little big green candle right there. Looking nice. So that broke out the top of that little mini wedge. Amazon put in a new high of the day. In fact, broke through pre-market levels. Broke through pre-market levels. Seeing we get through the 21 there. Amazon is green on the day. Green on the day for Amazon. Crazy stuff. So yeah, I was starting to get inclined to take some calls there on a smart little bounce, and we got one green. Let's see if we can break through the 21. Yeah, buddy. Oh, my bad. Yep. There you go. Crazy action. Crazy action. Alrighty. New high right there. I am scalping some 37.30 calls right now. I didn't mean to play in the money right there, but I had the 37.30 puts up, so all I did was switch over to calls, entered. So I am into 37.30 call at the moment. Just entered right before that candle broke up, that second candle. Not going to get the returns I want on these because they are 35 points in the money, but I'll take it. I'll take it. $37.64 now, a little bit of bounce up to the 34. Let's see how it react. Amazon is literally straight up. It's just squeezing now. Now they're almost up 1% on the day. Crazy stuff. All right, so Apple new high of the day. Microsoft is not. Oh yeah, Microsoft new high of the day as well. So yeah, buddy. Still holding this position. Scalping this. Probably going to go ahead and exit here in a second. We'll see how we react to the 34 EMA. Is this still a trend down day? For now, I'm treating ES like a trend down until we take out the day's highs. We'll see how they react to the day's highs. Above the day's highs, then I would say no. Either way, I'm still right. I'm going to ride these calls. So Amazon is squeezing now. 3 very large red or green candles on Amazon. This is crazy, man. They've been doing that. What, 2 weeks? This is the second week it's done that. Everything else is one way. Amazon's the exact opposite. Kind of leading the market, actually. Leading the market. Oh, nice, Sol. Yeah. Amazon's green now. XLF is turning green now. Watch the bonds here too. How are the bonds reacting? The bonds sold off this morning after a very, very green pre-market. So that rotation. So let's see if that translates to XLF, and I'll be watching that as well. $37.72 did get pulled. Nice observation. Nice observation. Watching across the market here. Close at 37.30 calls. So out of the calls. $39%, 40% on the swing puts from Friday. Still holding those. We're good to go. All right. All right, so a little red here off of that 34. Love it. Currently no positions except for the swing put. Swing put. Did I make any money on those calls? Yes. I'm in, I think 18 or 20, 19% was the most I got out of that. I just posted the play in the day trades. I posted the screenshot of the trades. But just another scalp until we get a good high confidence setup here. Right now we're pretty choppy except for the initial red candle and then now this one. So a lot of back and forth here. You got to play on your toes. 37.58.50. Yeah, it was a 37.30. They were in the money, which I didn't intend to do, but I had to get in the position quickly, and I already had the 37.30 puts up. So all I did was hit the little toggle switch to go to the puts or go to the calls, and then entered. Bam. So sometimes you got to take what you can get. Take what you can get. So we bounced off of S4 almost perfectly, and now we're rejecting S2 almost perfectly, which I love to see. I love to see these levels work so accurately right there. So taking a look on ES, there is liquidity lower. It's just substantially lower, and it's light. Now, we want to be aware of this 3650 because they just started adding 3650 liquidity, 3687, and then 3730. Above us, we've got a substantial level, a very, very huge level at 3795. So that's something we need to be aware of. Little 3770 here. So we'll see how they do that. Now, there's nothing above that at all. Light levels. Big red on XLF. Red candle on XLF. Yeah, no problem, poor. Definitely not the most advantageous play. You're going to get smaller returns, but, I wouldn't have made the play if I had to go through and adjust the strike. So I had to click the toggle switch and go. Yeah, action is very quick. It's important. Microsoft's coming on down. XLF is red. Apple's red. Yeah, buddy. Just hanging out now. Still choppy action relatively. Still choppy action. Maybe we'll get an afternoon break. Maybe we'll go back up. At this point, I don't care what we do. Even the swing puts are so far dated. I don't even care if we go back to 3,800 this morning. I just want to take a move. Let's get a nice little action, jump in a play, and go from there. When's the second leg swing play? Depends. I need to look at the outprice action to see what happens today, and see where we go. Should have took calls on Amazon. Jeez Louise. Do I still use volume profile to plot the levels? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the volume profile is one of my best indicators and favorite indicators, because volume and price, to me, is incredibly important. I mean, that's telling you where transactions have occurred in the past year, month, week, wherever your time frame is. I've saved that, Matthew, for my Patreon, or not Patreon anymore, geez Louise, website for the memberships. So I posted that in the exclusive channel on Friday. Potential time for Amazon puts. I don't know if I'm going to touch Amazon puts. It's green on a very red day, which tells me something. And I'm all about finding value in a play, but that is just there's a reason why Amazon is now green, almost a full percent, when everything else is very, very red. So you got to be careful with puts there. If they start breaking down, cool, but they are very green and sustained green too. Very bullish action. Yeah, the volume price action analysis is a great book. Great book. If I can't afford SPX, how do I trade SPY equivalent? If you look in the market analysis channel, I post a conversion, which obviously you can't do on the fly if you're trying to get in a trade. But kind of figure out where it kind of equates to a trade in the morning, and you can kind of just get close. And it doesn't have to be exact, Just divide it by 10 and you're good to go. It doesn't have to be exact. Or you don't even have to take the trade I'm trading. You could trade zeros, you could trade ones, you could trade next week's, whatever your risk tolerance is, trade it. You don't need to trade zeros just because I'm trading zeros. I do it because I trust my system, and I'm leaving money on the table by not doing it. I jumped in Amazon put way too early, lucky. Well, hey, as long as it's next week, you're good to go. And we could, we could have a sell-off later this afternoon. Who knows? But at this point, Amazon is just going. There you go. Nice go, guns. XLF is falling back over, rounding back over. 37.95 is still looming above our heads, very large level. It's been a long time since I've seen a level that large stick right above our heads closely and not move. That's not a spoof. That could be just a weekly level. Maybe they're putting that on there. We don't know what that is, but it's there. No. So there was a correlation at the market open. The ES and the Nasdaq were both down about the same, literally within 0.02%. They were the same, and now ES is down 1.7, and Nasdaq is only down 0.96, and that's probably because a lot of these tech stocks are getting a little high here, whereas the financial sector is still holding the S&P down. No additional trades. If we do get up to that 37.95 level, I'm going to be looking at taking a call credit spread for the day, a 0 DTE call credit spread, but only when if we get up that high. I'm going to go mute real quick. I'll be right back. Alrighty. I'm back. So, no changes so far. Very light volume right now. Still a little bit hanging out here at 37.58. We're stuck right in between S2 and S4. No additional positions. Hope y'all had a great holiday. Anybody have anything crazy happen to them? Anything fun happen this weekend? A lot of good fireworks. We had a neighborhood block party. Everyone brought over a bunch of fireworks and blasted them all off. It was fun. Had to get the hose out. I posted my swing trade in the swing position channel. Take a look at that. And let me know. Do I think it's still late to get into the trade? No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, I'm looking to jump in add additional positions. My little brother's 21st birthday last night. Wow. I remember that one. That was fun. I'm in England, so no fireworks. Oh man, I always wondered if England did any kind of fireworks like that. All right, so we started to have a red candle, immediately bought. Amazon thought they might have a little reversal, but nope. In fact, they're going back to the highs. Big green on the ES. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to bring up 37.70 calls on ES at the moment, just in case we break higher here. I have not. I've heard good things, though, about that show. Man, that was a big old reversal. NASDAQ just broke their little swing high level. God, look at NASDAQ. We got 37.60. Is it better to chart ES to trade SPY? I do all my big calculations off of ES. The daily levels I calculate off SPY just because a lot of people in the community are trading SPY and I want to be as accurate as possible. But I do all my major macro thesis trades off of ES. ES is the big dog. ES runs everything. So I do, Mohammed. Sometimes I miss it because I got a lot going on, but the bond trading, the bond auctions is something you really want to be aware of, especially the big ones, because it's like randomly at 11 o'clock we'll have a huge move in price, and everyone's like, "What's going on there?" Oh, see, most of the time the first place I look is the bond auction. All right, so Amazon is eating up against the 110 level right now, 109.96, which is a large level. They just absorbed it, gone. They've got 111, 112, and nothing below them until 107. So They are definitely looking higher at the moment. Well, there are a lot of ways to monitor the bond market. You want to monitor the yields. You want to monitor the bonds. I monitor mainly the 20 years because that's a good indication of the market. So a lot of people do the twos, tens. I mean, you can get there's a ton of different bonds. It all depends on what you want to watch. But I monitor the 20 just because I have limited space on my watch list, and that's the biggest one for me to judge sentiment on. Oh, there's the tender guy. He's back. Got to get him out. That's right. I try to get him out as soon as possible. As soon as possible. All right. This thing looks like it wants to go up. That's for sure. But no plays at the moment. Pretty choppy action. Pretty choppy action. We've had one big red and then one big green candle. And aside from those two candles today, it's been choppy, choppy, choppy. Hard to trade. I don't think it's too late to enter 722 puts. I'm still holding mine. So you take that for what it's worth. You take that for what it's worth. It was a double-edged sword this morning. I woke up to a lot of red in the markets. I was like, man, I'd love to see the swing put go into green right off the bat, but I was hoping to get some cheaper entries on this thing. It's all right, though. XLF just flipped green. A couple of different, well, not on the day, but a couple of nice green candles there. Yeah, this is going to be a spicy month. It's going to be a very spicy month. $722 puts $34.50. That's pretty far out. So if you're going to take that play, I'd be a little bit more patient on those. That's a really far out play. So you're not going to make any money on that play unless we get a big move to the downside pretty quickly, or at least an egregious move all at once, which is very possible, and I think it's going to happen. But that's why I like to take the 35.50s. So they're a little bit closer, but they're still aggressive but close. And that kind of falls within my strategy of realistic yet aggressive. Oh, you're very welcome. Whichever I take. What did I take on there? Yeah, 3500s. Yeah. It's just spam on the YouTube channel. Nothing I can do about it except put in, get them out of here as fast as I can. Would I consider anything of those swing puts, say Friday, a bit too late, or just depending on the price? Are you saying I'm looking to enter these this Friday? All right, big reversal there on some green off to the 34. It all depends on price action. If we sell off 3 days in a row and have a 300-point drop, then yeah, Friday's too late. But if we chop or go up, then it'd be fine. You'd actually get a better entry if that's the case. But it all depends on price action. So XLF had some nice green, red candle there, and we're still chopping here right at the 34 EMA. Oh, nice, AZN. Well done. Oh, what's up, A-Hops? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. First day. Today's my first day. Remember your first Reddit post? Yeah, that was a long time ago. I remember that day. That was nutty. That was a nutty day. Glad to have you. Meta's up 1.6. Amazon's up 0.44. And Apple is on the verge of going green. On the verge of going green. We're starting. We got a little Italian pinch over here coming up, which is what I call the 8 and 21 converging. We're about to cross up. If we get that 8, 21, 34 flip where the 8 is on top, 21's in the middle, and 34 is in the bottom, that is a bullish flip on the EMAs. So that's just an EMA indication of a trend reversal. So if we get that, that'll be obviously a little lagging. We'll see the price action become bullish before we get those crossovers. So be on the lookout for that. Amazon just blasted up new high of the day. And up we go. Booyakasha. Large green candle, 37.67. All right, so now we're up through S2. There's through the 21. Can we get the 21.34 crossover? There you go, the Italian pinch. We haven't used that one in a long time. Coming up to the day's highs. Nice little move there. Nice little move there. 37, where are we going? That's 37.69. So let's see how accurate Bookmap can be. 37.95 is that main level. Are we going to tap 37.95 like a butterfly with sore feet and then reject and come down, or are we going to blast through it like a bull in a china shop? We'll see. We will see. 37.95. Let's take a look. Nope. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, I should have took some Amazon calls, but no plays on that. I'm gonna let that do its own thing. I'm out of some SPX. Very green so far. Holding this green candle. I was looking just in case this thing reversed, but we'll see. VIX came off the 28.57. Very green across the board on all accounts. Looking crazy. Looking crazy. Man, look at this. What a move. What a move. Nice big green all the way to the day's highs. So Apple new high. Apple is now green. Microsoft is red and going. And up we go. And up we go. Man, look at this. Now we're squeezing up. Crossover on the 8 and 21 almost on the ES. Not there yet, but almost. Red came off 28.30, 28.39, 28.39. Still like a V is unlikely? W dog. I guess not. I guess not. 37.77. Now XLF is starting to round up too, and that's the key player for ES here. Now that tech is still doing its thing, now that XLF is doing its thing coming along now, we're getting all that bullish flow into ES right here. Very big green on NASDAQ. Yep, you're absolutely right, W-Dog. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The V always happens. It seems like every day the past couple of weeks we have a V. Come on, V recover. $258.40. 37.75, right back to the open. We opened the day at 74.50, so we're right here, literally down to the penny right now where we opened. So watch out for 37.95 if we hit that. Potential for some way high up call credit spreads. No kidding. No kidding. All right. Nice little move there. Nice little move. If we take out the day's highs, now keep an eye on XLF. XLF will be a good indication of what the S&P is going to do here. Because NASDAQ is still holding green. It's not really giving much back right there on that red. XLF has got a little shaking and baking. They got a little more aggressiveness here on their price action. So keep an eye on XLF for them to move. Yep. Yep. I will bring up 37.95 calls here. I'll call it 37.90. So Amazon, new high of the day and squeezing. Nice, Damien. Well done. 12.95% profit on SPX. Done for the day. Man, you're killing it. Don't give it back. Take everything you can, give nothing back. That's right. Completely ate up that red, going green. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that would have been a great play, Mohammed. Well done. Well done. Let's see. And there is a crap ton. Here, this is what I want to show you all. Right here. Nice little red, flipping on back down. Oh, man. You're welcome, Damien. You're doing awesome. Well done. Proud of you. Yeah, 37.95 is a substantial amount of liquidity. And if Bookmap pulls that one out, man, once again, they are killer. Killer. Are you thinking of a 0 DT? Yep. Any credit spreads I play in this environment will be zeros only. Zeros only. Especially with the VIX now back up to 30, although they came back down to 28.58 now. So they had a nice large green, came back up, and now they're selling this thing back off. XLF. XLF. Keep an eye on it. They are not as bullish as tech right now, and that's what's holding it back. ES is down 1.6. NASDAQ is almost green. Huge divergence, and one of those two will catch up to the other. It's very rare to have a divergence of that nature and just completely play out. Look at this huge reversal by ES. Wow. That is a huge reversal right there. $3,800 level. So they put on a little bit more on that 3,800 level. Man, look at that rejection. Holy crap. Big level. It's completely engulfed that candle, and that changes the charts right there. That changes the charts. Everyone's bullish. They completely reverse that candle and increasing its selling volume too. So from a chart perspective, that's a bearish setup right there. Massive candle on XLF. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. I'm telling you, Joe. Now they're just messing with us. Aren't they? Crazy. Yeah, that's possible too, Matt. Possible too. Remember, this is a short week, and this is still a holiday week. A lot of businesses and companies around the world, around the country right now, are still closed today because of a long holiday. People taking off work, so the volume's still probably going to be light today, even still. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now VIX is 28.88. Now we're going for the W, the third leg of the W. We've had the first W, now we need the double V, W, whatever. Why do they call it double V? It's not a W. No one writes it. Is it? I guess it could be a W depending on how you write your W's, but it should be a double V. Sharp pointed. All right. That is a bearish rejection coming on down. A V used to be U in the olden days. Oh, cool. I don't know that. So fun news. I've been creating the documents for the tier 2, like writing down system stuff, something a little like a PDF that y'all could use, take notes on and stuff. That has now morphed into writing a book. So I kind of just started up I had a Word document. It kind of morphed into me writing stuff about the system, and it kind of get into, hey, chapter 1. Now let's see where this is going. It kind of got me motivated into doing this and kind of writing from the beginning to end. So you could see that coming out here in the next couple of, maybe in about a year or two. Who knows? Who knows? It's been pretty fun. So I'm curious to see what y'all think. Curious to see what y'all think. I went book on their bingo card. I promise I only have one chapter on the emotional side of trading. Only one. Not every chapter. I mean, I might as well just take Jocko's extreme ownership and like rip the cover off and just put OM on it, OM trading, and sell it. That's pretty much what it'll be. Oh, nice jukebox. My goal is to have at least the first 2 chapters done and the intro done by this quarter, just because I've never done this before. Same thing, aggressive yet realistic. Chapter 1, I hope biotech stocks. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll see if it comes to fruition, though. I got a lot on my plate, but I've kind of been motivated to do that. More chop, 37.60. Yeah, 1 minute charts are way too much noise. Yeah, you got to stay off the 1 minute chart. It's just it'll cut you out of positions. It's great. I mean, if you want to scalp maybe I don't know, 2 seconds, yeah, but anything more than that, you're gonna be stopped out of trades. You're gonna be shaken out. No bueno. Me personally. What do you think of the stops and icebergs tracker on Bookmap? I love it. I love it. I need to get it fixed. I'm in the process of still getting that fixed. So I had it working for about a week, and then it stopped working. So I got to get that up to date. But yeah, I love it. Who is Jocko? Jocko's the man, man. One of my favorite books in all-time history. Jocko wrote the book Extreme Ownership. He's a former Navy SEAL commander, and he applies his Navy SEAL and his commander learnings and teachings and his humbleness into businesses. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, with this premium membership, I have access to the 1 second chart. And a couple of days ago, I accidentally clicked on it, and I thought like the market was like crazy moving. I was like, oh, I don't know how y'all people trade off that. The 1 second chart is ridiculous. Here, I'll put it up on the YouTube. See what it looks like. This is what the 1 second chart is. I mean, no thanks. No thanks. I hate it when I'm scared out of a position because I don't want to lose on a winning trade impatient. Yeah, it sucks. Do you have any tips to increase confidence and patience? Well, the first thing you got to do is look at larger time frames. And I know it sucks to enter a trade and watch it go red 15%, but I do not want to exit a trade because I'm either green or red 15%. That's why I don't normally set stops unless I'm very skittish about a position or I'm not monitoring the position. But if I'm sitting here actively trading in a legit position, I don't want to set stops because I don't want to be stopped out just because of a percentage gain, especially on options where you don't really know how the price of the underlying will correlate to the price of the premiums. So what I want to do is exit and enter my trades based on price action, based on the volume, based on what I see in the charts. So in order to stay in a position, obviously there are two parts to that: managing your emotions and then managing your knowledge of the charts. And you can control what you can control, and that's the knowledge of the charts. Learn what's going on here and zoom out 3, 5, 15 minute. I would recommend for most of you, when you enter the trade, immediately switch to the 5 minute and do not go back to the shorter time frames. Manage your positions on the 5 minute and you'll start to be a little bit more consistent on your exits because you want to bring in more time. Now, if it's a scalp, I get it. If you're treating it as a quick scalp, but only if you're treating it as a quick scalp. Don't turn a day trade into a scalp, and don't turn a scalp into a day trade. Very rare instances, of course, where you scalp and all of a sudden you get a huge breakout and things are great. I get it, but if stick to your thesis and allow time and trend to be your friend. Yeah, Jocko's TED Talk is awesome too. When you're doing super quick scalps, are you spamming modify orders and bid? Yep, pretty much exactly it. So I'll click in and out of a trade if I don't get a fill. So I'll enter the trade. If I don't get a fill, I'll immediately go into my orders, modify, bada boom. Bring up my order form, and I'll update to where I want it. I don't really mind paying the ask on SPX because it's only a 20-point spread anyway, and if I'm getting the move I want, an ask is not that big a deal. But I'm always trying to aim for the mid price. But yeah, exactly what we just said is what I do. IBKR, it's easier to do that because you have hotkeys. E-Trade does have a version of hotkeys, but you have to use E-Trade Pro, not Power E-Trade, and they suck. Julian says, good morning, first time viewer. Welcome, welcome. What are your thoughts on supply and demand zones? I love supply and demand zones. In fact, my SR levels are a version of that because I bring in so much data that they do work as supply and demand zones. Now, I traditionally use supply and demand zones dynamically because I let the market try to tell me where the supply and demand is. Right now, we're bouncing right off of a demand zone, approximately 3750. It's not a crazy strong demand zone because we're not bouncing right off of it. Strong demand zones are indicated by a very small amount of time spent there. So if we sell off, hit a demand zone, we have one candle, bam, pop, V recover, that's a very strong demand zone. There's a crap ton of buy orders waiting to be eaten there. If we kind of fizzle out right here like we're doing, grinding up against it, not that strong of a demand zone. So I'm looking for this thing to be eaten up, and then maybe eventually the sellers overcome, and we fall back down and go. Yeah, thanks, D-Stoic. I think I'm going to stick with the first book. If I do this, I'm going to stick with like technical stuff, like how my system applies into technical stuff, and I'm not going to get too much into the, my starts, my beginnings, and emotion, all that stuff. So we'll see. I have no idea how to write a book, so it'll probably be an absolute dumpster fire, but we'll see. If not, you can use it to start your fire in your homes. No big deal. The 1 minute shows things on scalps you don't see on the longer terms. It seems rough. Say, for instance, check out the bearish wedge. Oh, good. Yeah. And like I said, if you're doing quick scalps, I'm okay with the 1 minute chart if you want to use it for quick scalps. But if you want to stop being shaken out of trades, then you definitely need to get to the longer time frames. Definitely. But I get it. If you want to scalp off the 1 minute, it is what it is, and it will help you do that 1 minute if you're literally going to scalp one or two candles. Close my PCS at 30% profit. Nice. Yeah, I definitely agree, Mohammed. Especially after that reversal, you want to be careful. Any kind of credit spreads, even PCS or CCS, you need to be very careful. My wife is making a smoothie, so I hear the blender in the background. Ooh, what an idea. Just had an idea. Light bulb. Got it. All right, so we're coming up on 11 o'clock. We've got 30 minutes until the European market closes. We need to take advantage or keep an eye on them because they are significantly red. They have not had the bullishness we have had today. They're down 2.5 on UK. They're down 2.4 on the German markets. Very much down. We're hanging out here at 37.56. And our tech market is still very strong. So zooming in here, we got 37.95 still there, 3800 still there, 37.50, 37.30, all right there. Do I prefer scalping within the money or I prefer scalping outside the money. I try to stick to outside the money as much as I can. That's the best bang for your buck. Now, obviously, there's more risk there because if you get reversed, you're going to have a little bit more aggressive loss. But that's where risk management comes into play. If I am a little less confident on a play, I will trade at the money positions especially if I'm doing like a straddle, if I'm scalping in and out of a straddle type of deal. I'll never do inside the money positions from a planning perspective. Obviously, I did one today. That was just the nature of the beast. I had to get in a play, and that's all I had. Oh, yeah. Stream Decks. What's up, Andrew? Your name sounds familiar. I don't know if Credit Spreads Mike is listening, but my second weapon comes in today, so I appreciate the help. There he is. I'm going to go pick it up after the market closes. Look at that nice red candle coming on down. Yeah, buddy. So I'm not going to really look at taking a trade unless we pop through S4. I'm not really sure where this is going to go. So we came to the bottom. We tested the open, and then we sold off down to the day's lows. We still have 37. Now we got 37.30 being put on. I'm going to give you a little screenshot of Roni. Right there. So they're putting on 37.30. They still have the overwhelmingly large level at 37.95. I want to buy puts here, but it feels super weird buying puts when we're already this red. I'm a super noob, by the way. Well, that right there is the downfall of a lot of new traders, because their natural instinct is to play counter trend. Their natural instinct is to play calls when the market's low and to play puts when the market is high, because you want that reversal. You want that big payoff. Hey, it can't go any higher. Hey, it can't go any lower. So that's your natural instinct. That's not yours, but when you enter the market, that's your natural instinct. It was mine too. In fact, I still have to fight that, because that's where you get those big payoffs, when you ping the top or the bottom on a call or a put on a counter trend. But I promise you, you will have far more success if you play with the trend. If it's a very red day, play puts until you're wrong. If it's a very green day, you play calls until you're wrong. That'll treat you very well in the long run. Yeah, sure, sometimes you're going to get reversed, sometimes you're going to be wrong. That's fine. It's about the overall picture. I promise you, you'll be far more incorrect, far more wrong playing counter trend. You'll make more money when you're right on counter trend, because you'll get the very cheap premiums, but it's a high risk, low probability play. It is a tough battle. It is. For example, if you would have put puts at the top, that would have paid great, because the trend is still down. People were asking me, is this a trend? Is this a trend reversal? Is this a trend update now? Not until we took out the day's highs. And look what happened. We went to the day's highs, we rejected, sold off. Still a trend down day until the day's highs is taken out and you have confirmation through the day's highs. Oh, nice. Yeah, PJ, so you just did exactly what I did the last week. Beautiful. I mean, I love it. Yeah, PJ, it's a fantastic, fantastic strategy that I'm going to talk more about it in the Tier 2 room. The reason why I'm going to reserve that strategy for Tier 2 is because it's an advanced strategy, and you can get yourself into trouble if you don't quite know what you're doing. So, not to mention, some people won't like seeing a position go negative 98, negative 95%. But yeah, it's a fantastic strategy. You have to be very accurate. You have to have the capital to do it, but we'll talk more about it. That spy guy says, this is the ultimate cheat code. You're something else. Been here a while. I'm always baffled at how accurate the levels are. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I wish I could take credit for it, but it's just the market, man. It's just all I want to do is teach y'all how to observe the market and let it tell you what to do, and that's all it is I'm observing the data, and I'm translating that data into levels on the market. I'm glad you enjoy it. I paper traded for a while. I'm up 164% of my account this year while whittling away. Nice, Dustin. Well done. I fight the counter trend trade too, especially with me play calling like live and stuff. I have to be very careful because I'm actually a good counter trend trader, but it gets me into trouble because you cannot hold on a counter trend trade. Like if you do a counter trend trade and you get the move. Like let's take today. Perfect example. Perfect example. We had a sell-off pre-market. Some were looking to take calls, myself included, for a counter trend trade for a morning bounce, which would have paid nicely. But some people may have held the calls thinking we're going to continue to climb, that this was a trend reversal, trend up day, when it wasn't. And then they sold off and they either gave back a lot of profits or the position went red entirely. And now you're faced with frustration. If you're going to take a counter trend trade, you need to take profits quickly. In and out, get out. And well, then you may ask, well, what if this was a complete reversal and I missed out on all this? Cool, re-enter. Once you see the commensurate price action, re-enter a different trade. Go up higher on the strikes to get more delta, more delta return. So, yeah, a lot of different ways to just ring this bell. Low day of the lows, right, or low of the days. Once again, off of S4. Might get a double V. What uplift desk do I recommend? I don't remember which model I bought, but I highly recommend uplift desk. Well worth the money, especially now that I've been dealing with his back problems. There's no way I could sit. No way. The more accurate my levels are, the more you should fear crowd psychology. Yeah, if I get 100,000 followers, I'll start kind of worrying about that. But even then, I mean, I don't know. I think we're a long way off from that. Oh, nice, Prez. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you got any questions. So I went a little crazy on fireworks this weekend. I had a set dollar amount that I set aside for fireworks, and then in our town, it's so dry in our town that for the first time ever, they literally said, no fireworks. You can't shoot fireworks. And people thought it was a law, when in fact it was just an advisory. Like the fire chief came out and said, we recommend you don't shoot fireworks. And people thought that was a law, but it wasn't. And I even called the police department and said, hey, is this illegal to shoot fireworks now? He said, no, we're just advising you because it's dry. I was like, well, I'm a grown adult. I've got a couple of hoses. My neighbors have hoses. We'll be good to go. So I went out and bought some fireworks. But because of that law, nobody was buying fireworks. So all these fireworks stands around the county were full, packed. All right, so sorry, my daughter's leaving. They're saying goodbye. Anyway, yeah. So the day before 4th of July, all the different fireworks stands started putting everything half price, 50% off, buy one get one. And y'all know me, I'm a BOGO freak. I can't go into Publix if they have BOGOs because I'll buy everything. I'm a BOGO fiend. So I was like, oh man, come on. So I walk in there, they literally everything, even the big stuff, 50% off, BOGO. So I cleaned house. I was like, I'll take that one and that one. I sound like an auctioneer. So we had a block party. All the neighbors did the same thing. They brought their fireworks. We had like truckloads of fireworks between all of the neighbors. And we spent like 3 hours blowing these things off. Had an awesome time. Awesome time. BOGO Anonymous, yeah. Hi, my name is OM, and I like to buy stuff half off. We are in the southeast. I'll say that. But yeah, we had the hoses out there. I brought the hoses out there, and I pre-soaked all the grass and stuff, so it doesn't get anything all burnt. But it It was fun. We were safe. Yeah, yeah. My wife was a ER nurse for 16 years, and like 8 of those were she was a director of several different ERs. So Mrs. OM, she knows very well, and she's in fact we did have a couple of minor burns, and she got all the silver iron and did all that, took care of them, and she was good to go. Very cautious. All right, so we're pegged here to 37.50, not really moving. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. It's just including her. Mrs. OM got nerves of steel. She's a beast. Extremely high pain tolerance too. I've never seen a woman have such a high tolerance of pain, but she's a beast. Since the FOMC minutes on Wednesday at 2 p.m., could this be our chop day until then? Well, I don't expect too much out of the FOMC minutes. There'll be some volatility associated with it, as is always, but they're just the minutes from June. They're just recapping the minutes from June. So we'll be able to read what they said. Those are the minutes. Other than that, I don't know. It'll be kind of like a couple of candles, and that's it, in my opinion. What DTE and strike do you recommend for a newbie that doesn't want to see a 30% loss? Yes, if you are new, if you are a noob, I would highly recommend you do not trade zeros. I would trade anywhere from 5 to 7 DTE. That's going to give you a good return while not seeing a huge drawdown if you're wrong. Very welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, you're right, J Butts. Volatility as always. I have PTSD from my strangles on FOMC. Amazon's coming off just a touch. 30 DTEs, yeah, that's a good one too. Those are a month out. They'll still move nice, but my local time is Central. I'm Central time. Yeah, and that's the thing, Sol, is that, those strangles were up heavily. Like I saw a very huge profit on those, but I couldn't get out in time. So I had to just close one side, manage the other side, and eventually get it back to profitable. And it was a profitable position, but they were very, very green at one point, but not very long. And that was the part that sucked so bad on those FOMC strangles. Yeah, XLE is now in the 60s. I tell you what, I guarantee you there will be a good position to take a call on XLE today. Watch it. Doesn't matter how red XLE goes, they always have some sort of green buy up in the afternoon. Watch, mark my words. Actually, don't forget I said that. $37.47.50 on ES, bottom of the day. We're just kind of grinding out here above S4. And coming on down. My words have been marked. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I'm not looking. I mean, long term, possibly, Mike, but at this point, no. I'm good to go. When is Boeing a buy for me? Good question. When the market finally rolls, I'm going to be buying a lot of crap. I'm talking, I'm going to be like walking into the fireworks stand on 50% off. I'm going to have the economy is going to be showing up a 50% offside, BOGO, everything must go. And then I'm gonna pull up to the table and start feasting, and I'll let y'all know. But it's going to be simple stuff, man. Buy, 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 buy. It'll be Boeing, all of the big tech stocks, the top 8, everything. Just a little bit of long-term investing. If the best thing you could do for your kids right now, aside from funds, obviously there's a lot of great funds. I'm not a financial planner. There's a lot of great funds you can do, which I do have invested in our kids. But the really thing that you need to look at, and what I'm going to start doing, is really more single stock purchases for them. Obviously not a big amount, but can you imagine if your dad or your mom or whatever, whoever your caretaker was to give you, who would have bought $2,000 with Amazon in '98, and where would it be now? Especially if you're young. So in order to do that for your kids, if you want to have those in 20 years, man, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin in 2008. If you want to have those moments, you have to start buying. That's it. You have to buy and hold. You're never going to have those huge, generationally changing events if you don't start buying stocks now. So in addition to all the funds you've got for your kids, the 529s, the college funds, the mutual funds, the caretaker, all that stuff, start opening up a brokerage account in their name and just put in like $50, $100 a month, a couple of $100 a quarter, whatever it is, and start buying ETFs and the big names, Amazon. If you see a couple of up-and-comers, throw a couple of bucks into that too. And don't stop doing that. And then however old your kid is, if they're 1 or 5 or whatever, you got 13, 15, 20 years. I'm telling you, if you want to change your kids' lives, now's the time to do it. Especially with the big downside we got coming up here. I promise you, it doesn't matter how low the market goes this year, next year. If we go to 1900, if we go to 2500, it doesn't matter how low it goes. In a 10 to 20 to 30 year increment, ES will be at 11,000 in 20 years. And we won't even care about where we were now. So the best thing you can do for your family and your kids is start buying up. Oh man, Mermaid. What a play. Did you hold it the entire 22 years? Oh no. Yep, and that's the other thing. Don't let go of it. Yeah, don't give them the money till they're financially mature. Absolutely. It's a great point. There you go, shotgun. I'm up 60% on my 3,500 swing put. There are your thoughts on selling a put now for the same DT, like a 3,540. You're talking about what we talked about earlier, like selling premium against it. You could do that. I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't hold that, but because I intend for these puts to go in the money, and you definitely don't want to go in the money on a PCS. But if you can scalp in and out. Nice, so yeah. We have 12 minutes until the Euro market closes. Because everyone talks about, hey, I wish I would have bought Amazon in '98. I wish I would have bought Bitcoin in 2010. I wish I would have bought Tesla in 2012 or whenever it was. And I was like, no, you would. No, you don't. Because you would have sold it a year later. You want to hold it. So if you want to be that jabroni that's got, hey, my dad bought 10 grand of Amazon in 1998, and now it's worth, $48 million. You're not going to get that unless you buy and you hold for 30 years. You hold through the drawdowns, you hold through the economic recessions, you hold through the wars, you hold through the pandemics, you hold through all of it. That's the only way to do it. Nothing beats the long-term growth of a 30-year hold of long-term stocks, especially if the S&P. And buy the S&P, buy the Qs, buy it all. All the basics. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket surgery. So buy and hold. Go look at the time. If you want to add to your position, go into SPY and go into the Qs. Look at the top 10 holdings and buy those. I guarantee you, the people that manage the S&P and the Qs, they know what they're doing. They know more than I do. They know way more than I do, and they've already done their research. So why would I listen to them? I promise you, if you do this, you will do 90% of what a financial planner does. These financial planner jabronis that you go like Edward Jones and all these guys, they are not geniuses. I guarantee you probably have more insight to the market than they do. They pitch to their clients what in a newsletter they give them. So corporate sends them a newsletter. These are the funds you need to put your people into. These are the funds you need to put your clients into. They don't know anything. So you know more than a lot of these dudes. I'm not speaking for all of them, but a lot of them. So I'm telling you, go into the S&P, go into the Qs, see what is allocated in the top 10 at the time, and then invest in those. And I promise you, for the most part, you'll be good to go. That's not financial advice. That is anti-financial advice. Thoughts about buying and holding strong dividends. I mean, go look what Buffett did. He bought what, like $38 million worth of Coke back in the 60s and 70s or something like that, and he makes more per year on the dividend payment than he does on his original stock purchase, than he did on the cost of the original stock purchase. It's crazy. Now, one of the things you have to be aware of with the dividend payments is that they are not subject to long-term capital gains tax. So it is a W-2 short-term capital gains tax, unless there's a couple of ways around it, but that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on gold, and I've heard a lot of people for it and against it. I don't hold it, but I mean, that's something people say. Just it's I don't really care. Like if you try to hit me with litigation, I'm gonna tell you to stick it where the sun don't shine. Like I don't care. Especially the past couple of months. A lot of people like to gab about lawyers and their big dogs. I don't whatever, man. It's peacocking. But it's for me just to let you know that hey, don't just blindly follow what I'm talking about. Do your research. I'm just gonna brain dump what I know and hope it helps you. But don't blindly follow me or anybody else about anything. Do I see us going back to R1? I do not. Although as what W Dog said earlier, is that V recoveries happen often. Although now it would be a W recovery. Do you get taxed if you enrolled in DRIP? If it's a dividend reinvestment, which I have, then no. As long as you do not withdraw that money. As long as you do not uninvest that money. The Rogue Echo bike is fantastic. I love it. I love it. Little rejection of 21. All right, so we have Euro in 7 minutes. Where are we going? Jabroni. 46% on the swing puts. Which tier will be the best for you? Tier 1 or 2? Well, it depends on you. I've got two different tiers. I got a $25 tier and the $100 tier for tier 2. The tier 2 is starting to be expanded. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff, but we have two Zoom calls a month, which, by the way, the next one will be this coming weekend. The first one will be this coming weekend. And we're going to be adding a lot of stuff. Once we're fully integrated onto the website and off of Patreon, I'll be doing more raffles, giveaways, stuff like that. Yeah, so we're going to be doing more talk about real estate, more talk about long-term investing, how I manage my money, because I'm not going to tell you how to manage it, but I will show you how I manage my money and let you decide for yourself what you like and what you don't like. What I've learned, because I'm in the process of learning how to do land development, and the process, all the headaches, the hiccups, pitfalls, so you can learn from my experiences, other people's experiences. Currently no additional trades. Can you upgrade to tier 2 while in the first week? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Do the markets influence the American markets much? Yes, they do. And the whole reason why we focus on the 1130 change at Euro is that is the last outside influence on the United States market. So once that closes, it's just us. And it does provide some volatility, especially on a day like today, because the Euro markets are down almost 3%, and we're kind of hovering out here. I mean, NASDAQ almost went green for a second there. Speaking of real estate, do you think it's a bubble like some are spectating? As a first-time homebuyer, is it smart to continue to wait? This is a very weird real estate market. I've talked to a lot of real estate guys. I've talked to my real estate guy, which I trust insanely. I trust my real estate guy very much. This is a artificially created bubble. This was created because of institutional buying up institutional organizations bought up the supply. And it's a basic supply and demand equation. What happens when you buy up the supply? What happens to demand? The demand gets squeezed. So the demand unchanged, if you completely reduce the supply, the demand's going to go up, basic supply and demand, because it's going to create a feeding frenzy. People are going to rush to get into there, just like the run on the banks in the 20s. So there's still a demand for homes, but now we're going to start bringing the recessionary period, and this kind of brings in, this is start where you get into like tin hat theories, where how did this happen? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Because the institutions had to have seen this coming, so they decided to park their money in one of the safest assets you can, real estate. So why did BlackRock go and buy up billions of dollars of real estate right at or before the pandemic? Why'd they do that? They just picked now all of a sudden to start becoming massive consumer real estate investors because property values went up 50%, sometimes 100%, and yeah, that's the safest place to park your money. Either way, we're not going to go down that road. But they bought up the supply. Hedge funds, BlackRock, all these institutions bought up supply. Not to mention you've got Airbnb and Vrbo, all these places that bought up for commercial properties. In fact, you'll go back in Louisiana. In New Orleans, like what, 45% of the properties in New Orleans are all Airbnbs. And it bought up the supply and it squeezed the basic consumer. In fact, everything from $600,000 down was bought up. There's nothing under $600,000 worth buying unless you're a fixer-upper type event. So the institutions bought up everything under $600,000. So if you are a young first-time home buyer, whereas I bought one of my homes for $148,000 12 years ago, now that's a pipe dream. $148,000 is a pipe dream. So now they've got to shift upwards to the upper tiers, $600,000 to $1 million. So now $1 million home is becoming a normal purchase, even though you can't afford it. And those people who are in those $600,000 to $1 million homes, they can't even afford the home they're in if they had to finance the appraisal amount, which obviously they're not because they have their mortgage from 10 years ago, whatever. So now those people can't sell to go up to higher homes because they can't afford a $1.5 million home, even though their home is worth $1 million. So now there's nowhere for a lot of people to go. There's nowhere for a lot of these people to buy property. They got squeezed out of the market. So now you've got these young 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds who have, entry-level jobs with entry-level salaries, and they can't afford a $600,000 home. So their only objective, or their only option, is to either buy an extreme fixer-upper or buy a very, very basic, like stock cookie-cutter starter home that's, very cheap, but still high in cost, but cheap in quality. And it's caused a squeeze in the market. All that a long-winded answer to say, I think we are in a bubble, but it's a different type of bubble. It's an artificially created bubble. And eventually it will pop just because nothing can go straight up forever. I just don't think it's going to be like we saw in 2008. Now, I did read year over year, foreclosures are up like 185% from last year. But it's been an interesting market. The market in our neighborhood is already starting to cool off with land and homes. 50% 1 year, yeah, almost doubled, yeah. Supply is starting to increase, which means demand is going to come down to touch. €1 equals around 1.03. We haven't seen that since the dot-com crash. What can we get out of these numbers? I'm not too well versed in the euro dollar macro conversion. I need to look more into that, how the dollar equates to the euro, because I know the euro is more per dollar, but I need to see what that means exactly. Is what I'm saying. I need to read more into that before I start yapping my gums. Should I take out a HELOC then because it's 10% of my property value? Well, that's a good question. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that a HELOC is a very great way to take instantaneous equity out of your home and use it. There are some risks to it. One, they're adjustable rates, so your rate will get adjusted when your term is up. You don't have to use the money. You could just set up the HELOC and have the HELOC sitting there ready to go. So when you want to use it, it's literally as liquid as your checking account. You transfer the money in and out, bada boom, bada bing, you're done. And you only pay the interest on that amount that you use. And they renegotiate the loan every, 5, 7 years, whatever the term is. But it is adjustable rate, so you have to be careful. But I think a HELOC is a great way to take the money out. You can do a cash out refinance, all that stuff. But there's several different ways to take equity out of your home. The HELOC is very liquid, but obviously you need to calculate your risk. However, no matter what you do to take the equity out of your home, for the love of Jesus, do not take the money out of your home to buy a depreciating asset. If I could, I would stick my arm through the monitor and smack you in the face if you did that. That's what poor people do. Don't do that. Now this is where I decouple myself from the teachings of Dave Ramsey, because I grew up believing every word that Dave Ramsey said, which is great for people who are financially illiterate. If you are financially illiterate, great. Follow Dave Ramsey to a T. If you don't really have a lot of discipline, follow Dave Ramsey to a T. But this is where I decouple myself from Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is strictly no debt, no liabilities, bada boom, bada bing, which is a great in theory because his business flourished in the pandemic where other businesses were shutting down because of debt. Because he had no debt, because he's all cash driven, which is great. Fantastic way to go. However, people generate wealth through leveraging their current assets to procure further income producing assets. And that's how you start to expand that bubble. And then now the balance is you don't over leverage yourself, because that's how Dave Ramsey blew up his first financial setup, is that he was a contract trader. He would go get a property under contract and then sell that contract for more and take the difference. He wouldn't even get into the property. He would literally go to a property, make an offer, get the property on a contract, take that contract over to an institutional buyer and say, hey, I've got this property on a contract. Give me 10 grand and you can have this contract. And he would flip the contract. And then he did it where he bought up millions of dollars of property and then the bank called all the loans and he got smoked because he over leveraged himself. So yeah, he was a contract. He was a home. He was trading options on contracts. That's all it was. Options. He was a contract trader on options on homes. Anyway, UK market's closed and we got some green. Well, I won't go down that road, but which statement, Cindy? I know. I mean, I personally know people that's worked for him for 24 years, and it's the media does not paint Dave Ramsey in a accurate light. I'll say that. We're squeezing today. We're going to get a big move tomorrow. Let's see, Ross. Property wholesaling. There you go. I bought some SPY puts on 367 for July 6th. Do I hang on to them a bit longer? That's tomorrow, so that's up to you. Any kind of green up, any kind of bounce here, green is going to smoke your position, because you don't have enough time to absorb a green day. Right now, we can't even break the 34 EMA, so we're rejecting the 34 on the way down. Continuing to use S4 as support. Anyway, good little talk. I love talking about real estate. I can talk about real estate all the time. Love it. I don't. I think that's a little aggressive on his part to say that homes won't come down at all in the next 5 years. I think that's a little naive. I'm surprised that he would say that. But you know, the dude's been doing real estate and finance for 50 years, 40 years, so I'm sure he knows more than I do. What's my most reliable indicator for the SPY? The market itself, baby. The market itself. I appreciate you positively. So yeah, there's not one indicator that I would use to say reliable. I'll go ahead and tell you, no indicator is reliable. Even the 8 EMA, all that stuff, not reliable. Those are strictly past looking indicators to give you an indication of what happened. My most reliable indicator is the market itself. That's why I've got 6 screens up here, because I wanted to monitor the price action of everything that's in the S&P. All the tech, all the energy, all the financials, all the healthcare, all the consumer staples, all that stuff. Because if everything is moving one way, the S&P is going to go that way, and vice versa. Now, if I had to pick one thing that's considered an indicator, it would be my SR levels. But that is all data-driven levels. They're custom levels I calculate every day based on the data of the market, past and forward-looking. So yeah. Do I use book and volume imbalance on top of bookmap to indicate a movement for scalps? I do, but not too much. Do I consider getting a Bloomberg term? No. It's like 20 grand a year, and I don't need it. It is definitely the gold standard. It's just, to me, it's a unnecessary expense. You have one? Nice. Ooh, you have a Bloomberg. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. We got an MM. We got a market maker in here. Joe's a market maker. Confirmed. Found one. That's who was reversing my plays last week. Isn't it funny his first name's Joe? Like Jabroni? I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Jabroni. Watch him. You remember when the statement "we have nothing to fear except fear itself"? Well, the best indicators is the best market indicator is the market itself. What's up, Mango? How you doing? Mango burrito. Interesting. All right, so the UK market is now closed. They closed 7 minutes ago. They are down heavily, almost 3% sell-off today, and we are not there yet. If that's any indication of us, then we got some more downside. Can you explain what Bookmap is showing at the current moment? Yes, I can. By the way, if you are interested in Bookmap, I am an affiliate of Bookmap. I can provide you an affiliate link that'll get you some money off of your plan if you choose to sign up. Let me know. Right now we've got 37.60, 37.45, 40, and then 30. The most overwhelmingly large level is up here at 37.95. This appears to be a weekly level the more I look at it, because they put on 3,800. This is a 5 wide. It appears to be a weekly level. That's a significant amount of open interest right there, 1350. So 37.60 now, and we're kind of chopping between. We're right now pegged between S2 and S4, which are my current custom levels, bouncing off S4 like it's nobody's business. Take a look. Click on the link, and it'll show you the different prices and the affiliates channel. Bonds up, dollar up. Do you see this as a flight to safety? Yes, I do. That's a great observation, Pac fan. My neighbors just are a Pac fan. They just moved in. They're a huge Pocket fan. That dude, by the way, man. So I just had new neighbors. And I went yesterday. We were talking. I went over his house and saw his house. He just moved in from Wisconsin. That dude has some incredible Packers memorabilia. I don't know if you are a Pack fan. It says Pack, whatever. Incredible Packers memorabilia. I'm talking like Super Bowl I, Bart Starr. Incredible Packers memorabilia. If you were a football fan, you would blow your mind seeing this stuff. Do I still use SpotGamma? Yes, I do. SpotGamma is a fantastic resource. I don't use their gamma levels really much anymore, but I listen to Brent's options chain analysis. The dude is a brilliant options chain master. So I read his write-ups. I read about what he's thinking about with the market, with the deltas, with the gammas that are de-hedging, de-risking, and it's awesome analysis. Below start 37.30. Let's take a look. We've got a little bit of 3700 coming in. We got 37.86 right now as well, and then 36.50 is kind of building up here. So a lot of levels to the downside. I'm looking for a ladder to be put on. I don't see any ladders, but still kind of hanging out. Oh, nice. Nice tripping, Mike. Yeah, one day I'll see if you wouldn't mind me taking pictures of it. It's awesome. Kind of hanging out. When's the next podcast out? I'm going to record one this week. Obviously, this weekend kind of delayed some stuff because the holiday weekend had a lot going on, but yeah, we'll record one this week. Oh, thanks. I appreciate you. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, if you are new, I do have a podcast on Spotify. It's called Making Millionaires. Let me know if you need the link for that. I can post that in the YouTube as well. All right, a little bit of green coming up through the 34 EMA. Can we get a bounce off the lows? I'm going to go to the 5-minute here. Looks like we are setting up for a small bounce. All right, a little bit of green right there. VIX coming off just a touch. We ate through that 3760 level. And now we're trying to figure out if we're going to go into 3800. Now that UK is closed, all that bearishness activity has been removed, so let's see what happens to us. Big green. Look at that. Watch out for 3765. 3766. They put on 3750. All right. So a couple of green candles here. Watching across the board. What's Tesla doing still? They're bouncing up to 688. Man, oil's under $100. Wow. Wow. Man, big green up to 3766. Yeah, Amazon back to the high of the day for sure. Don't want to do that. Come back to there. Here we go. No additional plays here. Boom. Very green here on it. All right, so we broke through 37.67. We've got 37.70 on ES here on the book map. Yep. So right now I'm bringing up 37 July 5th. 37.70 calls, which are $10.50 right now. Let's see where we can go. Very green all across the board here. Amazon new high of the day and climbing. They're up almost 2%. What a crazy day. What a crazy day. 37.70s on July 5th right now. You're welcome. Oh, big green right there. Smashed it. Going higher. VIX is coming off 28.70. Looking nice. Bottom wick going green. Maybe the high of the day again. That's a strong move across the board. All the tech has 3 very big green candles. So now for liquidity, 37.95 is it. There's a bunch of small stuff spread out. The biggest node except for 37.95 is 37.50. Yeah, so this is 2 strong bull moves off the bottom, off S4. S4 is considered. If we do come on back down, that'll be the 3rd strong test of S4, which is a strong level. Right here to S2. Yeah, oil's under 100, 99.58. I'll give this a few more minutes here, and I'm going to go grab some lunch. I am pretty hungry. Haven't had lunch since yesterday. What time frame did I do today's support levels? I bring in all the different time frames, anywhere from up to the year, the daily chart, the weekly chart, all the way down to the 3-minute. So I bring in all the different time frames to calculate these. Nice, Jimmy. Little Italian pinch. Right now we got the Italian crossover. So pinch has happened. We crossed over. Everything's green. Amazon is absolutely going screw. They're up 2% on the day. Crazy. Crazy. Ooh, you're right. They took off 37.95. Interessante. That is interesting. All right, give it a few potatoes. Watch to see if they put it back on. That was a huge event. He just literally just went cancel. I think so too, Pink. I think so too. 37. Interesting. Double top. Interesting. Will I be live every day now that I got the new setup? I'll be live every day, yes, but the still Tuesdays and Thursdays will be for Patreon members only. Or I keep saying Patreon, we're off that now. But will be for the members only. Still. All right. Still hanging out on S2 here. Nice big red candle, flipped green, still holding ES. Be very careful here because they took off that 37.95. And we're kind of just pinched up on top of the trend here. Just pinched on it. So they had that green, flipped red. So it was red, then green, now back to red. Nice, I am learning. Well done. Where they want to go with this. Amazon still green and climbing. Another red candle flipped green. Kind of figuring out. Very indecisive candle at the moment. And flipped to green. Looks like they picked their direction. Well, that's what we're going to figure out. Because usually when they remove all the upward liquidity, it points lower. But that was a substantial level that they took off at 37.95. So I want to see where they want to take us from here. So we had a nice red reversal off that, flipped to green, testing that high, but Amazon's still squeezing up 2%. That's an incredibly bullish day on a very weird anomaly. It's a weird anomaly. You don't see that very often. One of the big players to be up so high when everything else is so red. So be aware of it. All right, liquidity has got 3,800, and we got levels all the way down to 37.30. If we start falling back under F2, I might start scalping 37.60s, 37.50s. Yeah, it did. It did. Just hanging out now. Chop followed. We're having a lot of chop today, followed by a couple of movement candles. You know, 37.72. So I'll zoom into the book map here to get some liquidity. It's still all light stuff here, a lot of choppy levels, but still pointing up. There's still some strength here. All red candles still being bought. Amazon's got a little red here. Apple, a little bit of red, but ES is still grinding upwards here. Still grinding upwards. At what point would you start thinking of additional leg into a swing? If we start getting green today, really high, I'll look at legging into that position more. But we'll see. Because right now things are holding up so far. Obviously Amazon's crazy, but yeah. All right, so another red candle coming on down. Amazon's got two reds, Apple, Microsoft, all that stuff. A little bit of red. I've got 37.60 put order form up. No position. Don't really know where this is going to go. Plus, I'm hungry. It's got your electric bike. Nice, Jimmy. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh, yeah, me too, Joe. Me too. Hey, Joe, can you reach over? Can you lean over and ask your boss which way this is gonna go this afternoon? That'd be great. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool job. That's interesting. Very cool. All right, so a little bit of red across the board. Apple, they all have a little bit of red here coming off. Watch for a little 8 here. Nice little action. What's our thought on the latest VIX levels? The VIX is consolidating too, around this 28 level. Still under VIX. Overall, I'm looking for the VIX to make a move. I'm looking for the VIX to go to 35, 38, 40, and then 45, which we won't get until we really move. But all that's showing you is that there's very low participation in the market at the moment, including institutional investors. You know, the institutional investors are not looking to, and Joe can tell us what he's doing. But looking for the downside, we're looking for the market to start to hedge for further downside. And it probably will come here shortly. But so far, the big downside risk is not being hedged for. And until we see that, we're not going to see a big spike in the VIX. Nice, ME8. Yeah, that POC, man, the volume profile is a fantastic indicator. Fantastic. It shows you volume at price. It's not based on equations and assumptions. It's all based on data. All data. Love it. Everyone's on vacation this week. Yeah, low volume stuff. Nice, mermaid. Well done. Love to see it. All right, y'all. I am going to call that a morning. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to go grab some food. Pretty hungry. Not all that much going on at the moment. I'm going to be looking for a double top rejection here and also monitoring this 37.95 level. They did take off a lot on 37.45 in addition to the 37.95. So just all in all, a lot of liquidity was removed. So, yeah, I want to keep an eye on that stuff. So thank you all for hanging out. If you are new to the YouTube channel, let me know if you have any questions. Come over and join us. The link to the website is down in the description of the video as well as the Discord. So you can click on that link, follow it, figure out which tier you want. If you have any questions about that, shoot me a DM in the Discord, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you have any questions about the plays. I've posted one play. I'll post the second one earlier. I'm still holding the shorts, the swing shorts. I intend to hold those for an indefinite period of time. And we'll see what happens with the price action this afternoon. So thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, I'm out.